Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you haven't gone to bed just yet, as the Jake Young transfer saga finally has a conclusion as the striker joins League One side at Stevenage FC for an undisclosed fee. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the transfer, what it means for Bradford City and where we need to reinvest that money. Now, after months, if not years, of speculation surrounding Jake Young's future, it has finally come to a conclusion, and he actually only played 16 games for Bradford City. According to Simon Parker, it's a six-figure sum with substantial sell-on clause and also some add-ons in there as well. But Bradford City tweeted today at 10:45 PM saying Jake Young has made a permanent move to League One side at Stevenage FC for an undisclosed fee. The article does then read, Jake Young has made a permanent move to Sky Bet League One side at Stevenage for an undisclosed fee. The 23-year-old moves to the Lamex Stadium after 2 years in West Yorkshire, having signed in the summer of 2022. Young joined from Forest Green Rovers ahead of the 2022-23 campaign and made a total of 16 appearances in Claret and Amber, scoring 4 goals. Bradford City AFC would like to thank Jake Young for his services in Claret and Amber and wish him the very best for the future. Obviously, with him signing from another club, at Stevenage also tweeted at 10:45 PM saying welcome to Stevenage FC, Jake Young. Their article does then read, Stevenage Football Club has agreed terms with Bradford City for the signing of forward Jake Young. The 23-year-old joins Borough for an undisclosed fee after 3 years at Valley Parade. Similar to now reunited teammate Dan Kemp, Young spent the first half of last season on loan at Swindon Town, netting 16 times in 25 appearances in League Two. A product of the Sheffield United Academy, the Huddersfield-born forward made his first professional appearance for Forest Green Rovers before moving to Bradford City in 2022 for an undisclosed fee. That is the end of the article. Very short and sweet, but as you can expect, obviously it's deadline day, a little bit of rush of the business and all that sort of stuff. And it'll be interesting to see if we are going to get our recruits over the line, get the paperwork done in time and all that sort of stuff. The names being thrown around at the moment are Raheem Harper and Elliot List. Obviously, by the time this video comes out, you probably will know if that signing has been announced or if we've failed to get that one over the line. But I think if we need to improve in any position, it definitely needs to be a midfielder. Now, the positives surrounding this transfer is obviously we have made a profit for him. We signed him for a undisclosed compensation package when he left Forest Green Rovers, and now we've sold him for a six-figure fee. As you can tell, it's very late in the day, and I'm sure there's still more business to be done. But a six-figure fee with the sell-on clause. I don't know how long his contract is with Stevenage, but you would assume at least a 2-year, if not minimum 3-year contract there. And I think the big thing for Jake Young is linking up with Dan Kemp again. Dan Kemp was a big part of Jake Young's success last season. I think them two are going to absolutely smash it in League One together. Obviously, I could sit on here and tell you all the negatives to Jake Young, but I think him linking back up again with Dan Kemp is absolutely massive news for Stevenage Football Club. And I think maybe a few people might have been concerned and had their doubts about Stevenage's survival hopes this season after losing Steve Evans, but having Jake Young and Dan Kemp in the same side, I can only see them avoiding relegation once again this season and maybe pushing on for a top half finish. I don't quite think they'll be able to challenge for the playoffs this season, but who knows if them two are fit and firing again. They've got a very good team there. They've not really lost many of their better players. But the positives with Jake Young, he has proven he can score goals. If you play the Jake Young way and you get him in the right system and team, then you will get goals out of Jake Young. It's as simple as that. But it's what he doesn't offer, which I think is concerning. If he's not scoring goals, he's not going to give you much off the ball work. His attitude to trying to defend isn't amazing. He's not going to do much pressing. He wants the ball to feet. He wants to take on a couple players and try whip it in the top corner. You have to play him as a striker. You cannot play him as a winger. I don't think Stevenage play with wingers. I'm pretty sure they play with the back three and a striker, or maybe 2 strikers. I'm not really too sure, but I'm pretty sure they don't play with wingers, and Jake Young cannot play there. We tried to play him there and he just kept getting caught out constantly defensively because he didn't really know what he was doing. He is a striker. He's there to score goals. Do not make him track back and defend because he simply won't do it. Before we do go any further though with today's video, please make sure to drop a like on their form. If you could try and hit 150 likes on today's video, that would be massively appreciated. And don't forget as well to subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are now closing in on 10,000 subscribers. Get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below on Jake Young joining Stevenage for an undisclosed fee. Obviously, Jake Young absolutely smashed it as well last season with Swindon, as I have mentioned a couple of times. He played 29 matches in League Two last season, a few of them obviously including his time with Bradford City, 23 of them being starts, averaging 73 minutes per game, and he featured in the Team of the Week on 3 occasions. He scored 16 goals, averaging a goal every 132 minutes, averaging 2.6 shots per game, 1.1 shots on target per game, and he missed 10 big chances as well last season with a 22% goal conversion rate, and none of his goals were penalties. Them statistics are absolutely brilliant. The goal frequency and goal conversion percentage are absolutely excellent for League 2 level. He also managed to contribute to 4 assists, averaging 23 touches per appearance, creating 3 big chances, averaging 0.7 key passes per game with a 58% passing accuracy, 65% in his own half and 50% in the opposition half. 36% of his long balls were accurate and 33% of his chip passes were accurate as well. Like I said, defensively he's not going to offer you much. No interceptions per game, just 0.4 tackles per game, 1 ball recovered per game and 0.3 clearances per game as well. No errors which led to a shot or a goal, but he did actually commit 1 penalty offence. That wasn't with Bradford City. So Swindon fans, let me know down below what game was that in, and did you concede the penalty as well? In terms of some of these other statistics, he averages 0.9 dribbles per 90, only 36% of them being successful, which isn't amazing, but his duel stats I think are really poor. He only wins 30% of his total duels, winning 34% of his ground duels, but only 24% of his aerial duels. For a striker who's 6'1", to win less than a quarter of your aerial duels is big alarm bells ringing for me. And he also picked up 4 yellow cards last campaign as well. And in terms then of how Bradford City's squad is now lining up ahead of the 2024-25 campaign, as you can see, we're looking much better in terms of numbers. Our midfield and striker positions don't necessarily look too bloated as what they did before. Would I have rather kept Jake Young and got rid of a Tyler Smith? Absolutely. Would I have rather have kept Jake Young and got rid of a Vidane Oliver? Absolutely. But if the interest isn't there in players like Oliver and Smith, there's not really much we can do. I just hope this signing, if we do manage to get it in over the line, is a holding midfielder. We have enough competition in every other position really, apart from natural holding midfielder. We've got players who can naturally play in every other position apart from holding midfielder when you don't factor in Richie Smallwood. Yes, we've got players who can play there, Adore, Patterson, even Adams maybe, for example. Probably Aidan Baldwin could do a job in that as well, but I think we need some real competition for Small just to push him on that extra 5-10%, everything like that sort of stuff that does matter. But the squad depth is certainly looking a lot better. Obviously our wage bill will have been reduced a little bit now as well. We've got transfer money to spend, so I do hope this player who's coming in through the door, whether it be Raheem Harper, Elliot List for example, I hope it's on a permanent transfer as well, because we've got transfer fees to spend. We've done a lot of free transfers, a lot of loans as well. I guess we could technically still make another loan. Whoever the signing is though, they're not going to be eligible for tomorrow, but if that does get announced, obviously that'll probably end up coming out like 3 AM at this point. It's been a very busy day, but I wish Jake Young all the best at Stevenage. It's such a shame how his time at Bradford City went. Obviously Mark Hughes had a bit of a falling out with him, sent him out on loan to Barrow, didn't really impress there. Last season was sent out on loan to Swindon, absolutely flying there in all honesty. Came back under Graham Alexander, picked up a hamstring tear inside his first 4 or 5 matches. This summer we thought he was going to come back and absolutely smash it, then wasn't really included in the squad so much. He was being linked with every team under the sun, the likes of Fleetwood, Stevenage, Crawley, Barnsley, Wigan, Derby. There were so many different teams interested and rumoured to be trying to pursue a deal for Jake Young, and it's understandable. He's a 23-year-old who's only got a year left on his contract. I know he had the option of a further season. Bradford City, in terms of negotiating transfer fees, don't have the best record in getting good prices for them, and I feel like it's just a good move really for all parties. We can finally put a closure to the Jake Young transfer saga. If we were going to sell him, we should have done it in January though. That's the only thing that I'm disappointed with, in all honesty. It would have been probably worth double the amount of money we've ended up selling him for in this window than what it was in January, which is so frustrating. But we're a selling club, we're in League 2, every player has their price, and if Bradford City feel like they've met that price, then that's fair enough. I just hope that we see that money reinvested into the squad, and hopefully the new player who does come in is a positive signing for us.